Good morning, welcome back to episode 4 of watching Steve weld up a horrible old bus. So won't that be exciting for us all? So first things first, today I'm going to try and get this side you know, complete from this point onwards. The back end I've got to take on almost as a completely separate job, I think, looking at it. But I want to try and get all of the side, that front area. Hang on, let's just go and show you. So ultimately, all of these bits here, I'm going to put some angle on. So we're going to weld some bits of angle so that our floorboards have got something to go on. The angle is actually under there in that plastic bag. It turned up from Metals for You on DX parcels again. It was only like, you know, a week late or something, so it's pretty good. They're usually pretty good, to be fair, but the road here is getting shut periodically at the moment for them to do a load of stuff to it. So in answer to 3 or 4 messages I had, no, I still haven't fallen through this yet, but I've no doubt it won't be long. So yeah, first job is to move all of this now back over to here from where I cut the top off that box, and then this is the area we're going to concentrate on immediately. Is got to do some fab here. I'm going to try and fill this area with actual metal. Just remake this, sort this piece of box section here, just basically push a disc cutter in and try and push that back in. You can see how far out it is there compared to our other side. So yeah, just going to try and sort this front end out, sand it all back nice so we've got no rust, give it some primer, and again, as I say, put basically angle all the way along all of these pieces so that when we put the boards on, it's got somewhere nice to sit. So that's the primary job today. So this is the front piece that I've been on about. We've just been pulling more and more of it out. This was aluminium here, aluminium plate. So I pulled that off and we found that this was snapped already. And as I'm pulling the aluminium piece out, I was sort of thinking, oh, it looks like someone's been in here. Shocker, they have, and glued a load of crap here. This is obviously shit. And this is a bit sad. This is the main piece of box that comes along the front, comes along the side here. And this is, I'm not happy with this. It's too grotty. So I've got to cut that out, and that's a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest with you. But what I'm hoping to do is zap off this plastic stuff, and then we'll remove this piece of glass. And then, you know, very potentially it might be a case of zap, put a nicer piece in there, but it's looking a bit shitty here as well. But, you know, now's the time to do it, isn't it? And I don't keep or have this box section, so we'll have to have a measure up and, yeah, ho-hum. But either way, the rest of it, I'm just going to copy what we've done here, done here really, and just put another piece of box section all the way along the bottom, and we'll put some new something here, or be that metal or be that. Do you know? There's no reason why it shouldn't just carry on the same as the rest of it. In fairness, all the way up to this point here. Yeah. So you've mended it. Oh, there it is.
That looks fun.
No, all of it already.
I wish it was cheese.
Oh, I'm glad I got that.
It's pretty loose. I didn't want to.
Yeah, if I go down, it'll probably be alright, won't it? Oh my god! Okay. Oh, look at that!
It's a bit grotty, isn't it?
A bit grotty. Oh, it does get grotty back there as well. So
I'm guessing the well, it wasn't sealed. But
it's funny, isn't it? The more like stuff you take out, the easier it always looks like it's going to be. So obviously I've got this piece to replace, which I'm going to remain sad about. I don't have any 60 by 40, so I've either got the choice of making a piece or just order a piece. At this point in time, I've got more than enough to do making good this. So I will probably just order a piece, and I can just put it in and it's right, and that's the end of it. So I've managed to nick there, so I've got to weld that up, sort that out. That was when I was trying to pull off the original piece of metal that went all the way down here. So now we're like bare, so we can see this. So I think what's happened is why they didn't hammer that in nicely and weld it in properly was because this piece of steel was stopping them from pushing it back. So before I don't know why they didn't just disc cut that so that it was nicer, or just lower it a bit. I don't know. But either way, I'm gonna get the 9-inch grinder and disc cut across there so that it's a nice gap, and then I'm going to disc cut that, and then we're hopefully going to be able to push that in and just line it up nicely so that it's all far more sensible. Then, as I said a minute ago, we're just going to add another piece in here, a little upright in the middle, and then some angle along there, and we'll tie it into this as well, and then we've got like a nice strong sensible side piece for the driver's seat. So yeah, like I say, I've got rid of all of this wood. This is all just shit. There's a big gap there, you know, so that will probably, I assume, was like that from new, so that's probably why all this was rotten. It's just sort of sucking up water, which is glorious. So we'll hopefully get rid of all that and probably make a nice piece of metal or something to sort of go up through there. I don't know yet, but yeah, let's sort this out first. This is Uncle's Bike's idea, just cut it halfway through, because obviously it's been I don't know why it's been just hammered, I guess. So we're hoping to be able to pull this out a little bit nicer so that it will look a bit. I really don't want to replace this whole piece, so this is now loose. So like I say, Spike's just going to try and bend that out so a bit nicer. It's much better already, isn't it? Happy days. Now I can finish cutting that through, smash it back in. Okay, so yeah, hopefully now we can just clamp it back in. Oh, it's pissing in there, isn't it? Dead easy. Yeah, that's absolutely lovely, stunning. So this is now lined up with that. We can sand all that off once I've stuck that on there. It's took like what, 3 or 4 minutes, or you know, it hasn't, but maybe 10, 15. I don't know why that wasn't done to start with. It's going to make it fire. Please, Uncle Spike. Uncle Spike's got a bad back, so yes. He's not doing anything. No, so cameraman,
obviously.
Here we go, so I've pulled this out. The front, I've been real mindful. I didn't really want to get too involved in pulling this out, but as it turns out, somebody's already pulled it off and it wants stuck in there anyway, so cut the rivets and we're out. So got a nice piece of steel in there now. We actually found that the van sort of comes in at the bottom here on the other side with the door in. It doesn't do it. Oh, that's tasty. So yeah, new piece of metal in there. We're going to now sort of strengthen across here and up. Yeah, happy days. All right, so box section is now in this area. That just needs cleaning up with the wire wheel, but I busted my grinder, so we're going to go on now with my battery grinder and just all of these edges. Oh, it's an odd thing because I point in a different place in real light on the camera. That there, I've got to sand some of that paint off there, and I'm going to weld in a little piece of angle. I've got some 20 by 40 angle which we're going to weld along there, so that when I come to put my floor on, it's got something to screw to and glue to. So I'm going to go along now and do that whole side with that, and then hopefully Screwfix will have my nice U grinder by tomorrow, and I can then clean this up, give that a paint up. Yeah, let's do that. Well, there it is. So the camera switched off at some point whilst I was doing that, so I guess I'll see how far I got when I'm editing it. So everything's there now done. We've got this angle there, so we've got somewhere for to screw and bond the floor. Like I say, the only bit really on the front is that piece of box section there. Messaged my good friend James over at JK, and he doesn't keep any horrible old steel. He says he just keeps aluminium, so that's a bummer. So I've got to order some, so we'll get on to you know, metals for you again, get a piece of that up for next weekend hopefully. But yeah, I've still got to do some work here. This is a bit shit. It's I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but it's sort of too far out. It's horrible, so I'm going to run the disc cutter there and just see if I can tweak it out and square that up nicely. Again, this has been replaced, and I think it was just sort of welded in as and where. yeah, so I can move my way back now. All of this back stuff is stuff that I haven't been looking forward to. It's all a little bit, you know, most of it's good in fairness, but there's quite a lot of surface stuff, and there's bits and pieces that I'm going to have to cut out and remove. This is the main sort of rear frame, I guess. Yeah, the next port of call really is this sort of rear frame here. This is probably the rear, holds the rearmost structure to the vehicle. It's bolted onto the rear of the chassis. You know, well, in places it's just knackered. It's rusty. It's horrible. It's been bodge repaired. It's got bits of angle iron sort of welded on the box section, the rusty box section. They didn't cut it out. They just sort of welded on the top of weld. You know, usual shit. So I plan on making a new one of these that is far stronger. I'm going to go double height and double width at the bottom in 40x40. I'm going to stitch weld them together. I'm going to make new brackets here that bolt in through there, and in between this and the chassis I'm going to have these drop down brackets which will come down here, which will support the boot floor more, and hopefully we can tie up our tow hitch into that as well, because at the moment the tow hitch is, well, apart from being non-existent, but fairly the whole purchasable thing for this is horrible. So we're going to make a newer bolt-on piece which is going to add a shitload more strength. But yeah, that's the next plan really, is start gently cutting this out. As I say, it's still supported on the blocks, so I should be able to safely remove this without bending anything. Yeah, okay, so I've unbolted everything. Interestingly, it does move a bit, so maybe it's not under as much strain as it should reasonably be, but that's probably because it's just all rusty and horrible. So I am just going to go, you know, balls deep, I think, and just start cutting the things out and see where we end up. I've welded I've got like that piece of steel there as two bits of box section that I've stitched together all the way along, and that ultimately will end up here, where that is, and then we'll, like I say, I think we'll double up everywhere in this piece just to try and get as much strength as we can into it. So okay, let's yeah, let's cut this out and watch everything all fold up into one big sort of paper bag looking load of nonsense. Scared! This is a bit I haven't been looking forward to be fair. Oh, there we go. The old 9-inch to the rescue. Guard keeps coming loose. Poor old thing. Yeah. So actually, it was far nicer and it's still sturdy. So I was worried about absolutely nothing. It hadn't fell on my head. So this is the sort of, you know, fuckery I'm dealing with. That wasn't so bad. This is just glorious, isn't it? I just, yeah, just absolute nonsense. That's the old, you know, PU adhesive weld. So yeah, that can all get binned. So yeah, I've got like a, oh, come on, Stephen. Got to trim this all back nice somehow now against that box. Yeah, so it's quite interesting here. They've lobbed the chassis off with, I assumed was a potato, because this distance here and this distance here and this distance here is different to that one. So they've obviously just got a disc cutter or something back in 2005 or whenever it was built, and just lobbed the end off, and that was that. Fucking mental really, innit? Yeah, happy days. Okay, onwards. So my man Howard from down at Alla, he's just phoned me and told me that I've got to bring him some biscuits. So we'll go and find some nice budget biscuits at the Spar shop. So yeah, I'm going to get in the van now and go down and see all my nice new bits. I'm so excited. tidy. Here we go. So yeah, Howard over at Optare Engineering, he is such a gentleman, he really is. So we emailed him off these drawings, as I showed you in one of the previous episodes. This is essentially my lorry chassis goes down through here, and we need to drop it down a bit so that we can get like the boot chassis in the right place, so we can support under there, and also we want to put a tow bar on a thing. So this is 10mm thick, and these are going to be the strengthening gussets that are going to go along the gussets. They're going to go along the top. I've ordered a load of U-channel from Metals for You. So yeah, essentially these have come straight off of Howard's lovely new laser cutter. He's upgraded quite recently, and I watched it down there. He gave me a little tour, and honestly, technology has moved on so much in the last few years. It's just absolutely mental. So the finishing cut on it is just glorious for like a 10mm thick piece of mild. So yeah, basically I'm just going to use my my Amazon paintbrushes, because I'm a cheapo, with my Screwfix nonsense here. Red oxide, just going to red oxide it all. I've given it a clean up first because like I say, we've got to mount it on there, but I really don't know whether we're going to weld these gussets. Well, the gussets are going to be welded, so I'll have to just tickle it off here, but I don't know how we're going to bolt it in through here yet. So I'm just going to protect it all, and then when I come to weld it, I just sand it off and then repaint it again. So yeah, boring, dull job. And Libby's bought me all new workwear. It's all fresh on today. It's lovely. So I've got to be careful not to get on that, because else I'm going to be in deep shit. Boom. And I've not managed to get any on me, so that is glorious. I won't video any more of this, because essentially tomorrow I'll just flip it over and paint the other side. It's really exciting shit. So there is one of my fancy laser cut plates that Howard at Optare has done for us. So that essentially will bolt into the chassis there, using the holes that were already there for the body mounts. So we haven't got to touch the chassis. I've removed this one and just propped it up there for a minute, because A, it was in the way because I've got to space that out wider, and B, I keep looking at it and realising just how shitty and rusty it is. So we're going to make a new one there. So yeah, ultimately we'll bolt through there and then through here with this, with the one that comes across here. And then we've got this 10mm plate. There's some plate to weld along the top of this, and then it will come out there. So you can see that the bottom of this is about the same as the bottom of the boot floor as it stands, but we're going to lose about that much because I've got some nice big C-section or channel which is going to go along here, and this should sturdy up the whole lot, all proper. So really happy with that. That was a good move. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I can drill the holes into this plate now. We didn't have those holes laser cut because it looked as though, like, when you actually look at the holes in the bloody lorry itself, they are just, yeah, I think somebody's chewed through them. So I'm going to mark them through and then just drill them, and then that should be just a nice, easy, straightforward little job. And then once these are, you know, located, so this here is these are bolt holes, so it's going to have like a piece of pipe in between here again just to tie everything up, and then we've got another one further down again just to tie everything up, make it nice and solid, and hopefully make it far better than it ever was. Living a dream, right? Living a dream. Right, so let's remake these things and then we can get this all bolted up. Yeah, so while it's clamped, I've just been along and leveled that edge up. So just get me deep hole marker and just mark the holes we need to drill. Easy as that. I can take it off and then just drill some holes in some 10mm plate, which would be really exciting. Okay, so I've been cutting out the old stuff that went up there. There was like all sorts of crap bolted on, welded onto that. So tidied out that one, it's okay. A little bit sketched down the bottom corner, but I'm going to do something about that, but it's not horrible. This side, on the other hand, is horrible. So up to there, where I'm going to mount my my double, we'll call it horizontal because I don't really know what it's called, rib horizontal. Oh, we could come up with some name. That's okay there. So I'm going to get my beam in, get my uprights made to mount it to the chassis again, and then once it's in and welded, I'm going to cut that piece out right from the bottom up to there and then weld a piece in there. right now, because I can't get to the other side of this, because this is the side that's not removed. It's a bit of a pain, but like I say, I can just weld round there for a minute, get a piece of nice box in there. Job done. I also cut that back, move that, that's fine, but it turns out that little piece there is rusty, so I'm going to zap that out, get some 20 by 40 box as well, replace that. So yeah, lots of little bits and pieces, but I'll be honest, this is the worst area. It was really rusty here. I wonder whether it didn't have these sort of rear wheel arch pieces initially, and they were added in when it had all this sort of work, because there's lots of repair and such around this area. So yeah, it's interesting, but it is what it is. Yeah. Okay, so you can now kind of see how that crap was made. This would be the new piece, obviously. So, oops, sorry. So that will go in there like that. We'll weld those. That is like a ledge, just to sort of kiss up against there. So like I say, I'll weld this now, and then I'll remove it. It's just on cheap nuts and bolts that came out for a minute. I've got some new ones coming because they're a bit thicker now. Obviously, because this piece here, lots of rust there was along the chassis where nothing had been prepared. I guess they just sort of bolted this in, and I think that was probably yeah, there you go. See, just this build up of rot where it probably wasn't prepared properly before it was bolted on. But yeah, I'm glad to get rid of some of this old shit, to be honest with you. Just all new, no messing around. I know it's good, I haven't got to worry about it. So yeah, I can get this all welded up, and then I'll just sort of chamfer that off nicely once it's off, and then we can stick it in at the top. Job's a good one. And then I just got to do the same on the other side where there's some air conditioning pipes. Yay! Okay, tidy. That's that one welded on. I've just put a couple of the old bolts through there, still waiting for the new bolts, obviously, as I say. So now this side's just as grotty, only I've got all of this pipe work. Some of this is for the air suspension, some of it's for the air con. I'm going to tie it up out the way and then do the exact same as I've done there here. A bit of a clean up, bit of a paint up. Zap that off, and yeah, living a dream, isn't we? Living a dream. Yeah, so this side much the same. Again, just sort of jacked up a bit. On there it's up a couple of mil. This is all the same, just sort of grotty and you know, fairly horrible, but not, you know, it's not sort of unserviceable or anything. It's just sort of picked up all the shit that's been bolted onto it, I think, that's not been prepped nice. So I'll use a def wheel on the grinder, again, same as I've done with that side, and clean it all up nice. We'll prep it up with some red oxide initially, and then I'll bolt my other bracket onto this side and make another what's it for this side. Lots of what's its and thingies and all of that jazz in there. Okay, clamped on, hole drilling, marking, all that shit. I won't bore you with watching that. Then yeah, happy days. Okay, all attached, everything's exactly the same this side. I've got new bolts now, that's this side. So we've got to make another couple of these sort of upright stanchions to go in this to hold our tour in Lego terms across there. So that's going to be my next job. I'm going to put another piece, like I say, across here and to these bits. Remember I was saying that we've got some rot that side, and there's a little bit here which I've again noticed, but I'll deal with this once this is in, again, because I can just put a piece out of there and just put up a new piece in. But at this point I just want to get the main structure of it resolved. So next thing to do is put a piece right across here to these outer box sections, and to line up essentially here where the old one was. Okay, well, I've still not managed to fall down here somehow. We can kind of see now what I've been dribbling on about. I've just basically run out of welding gas, so that's kind of ended play. But I'll just get this red oxided up, but hopefully we can see how this is all going to come together. I've got this extra double thick piece here. I'm going to come, I've put like a 45 there, so we'll come across there and then we'll tie it up behind, we'll tie the two together behind, but we're also going to come up with some angled pieces up here. So hopefully you can see how it's coming together. I'm getting more and more sort of comfortable with the strength in the van again now, to be honest with you. Everything's starting to be more secure and sensible. So yeah, slowly, can't you monkey, get on a mill now and get some more welding gas. So I brought my the lower panels. Say hello, Jezet.
Hello again.
Brought the lower panels here to Jeremy because obviously we want to get them all nicely done. Oh look, he's been busy, what a busy boy. So he's been sanding them right back, and then you're going to put some epoxy primer on them.
Well, I've been fixing them first.
Yeah, like
broken and the corners were all missing and there was nowhere to attach it. So we've repaired all that, got rid of the thing. We're going to put some filler over it to make it smooth.
Nice.
And then we'll epoxy primer them, ready for you to wrap them.
So I'm going to wrap these. But yeah, Jeremy's just found, as he sanded them down, you know, naturally, just found all manner of sins. Was it you say the bottom of one of the panels over there was just completely full of like tiger seal, like a that's like a PU adhesive.
All tiger seal along the bottom, and it just all peeled off and
So yeah, it is what it is. Like I can't buy these, so they need to be repaired. So yeah, Jeremy's charging me like £3 an hour to mend them, which is just disgusting.
What?
So well, at least we're not having them painted. You know, I'm saving a bit of money there. I know you're still having to do the groundwork per se, but ultimately, as and when I scratch them again, when I drag them up a drain pipe somewhere because it's too wide. Oh no, I've got my class 1 now, mate, fully qualified, so I shouldn't hit it. But yeah, so Jeremy's down here getting busy. What's that, like a hole?
Yeah, there's a hole in the fiberglass. I repaired it underneath because it was all.
Oh, that's what this is as well, right?
Yeah.
To be fair, they did look pretty shit, which is why, hence, you've got them. To be honest, I was looking at them thinking, oh, they'd probably be all right, but you know, the reality is, by the time there you go. So you had to put a load of fiberglass in the back of that one to strengthen it up, and the same on this one.
Yeah, there's a big piece missing in the bottom of that.
Oh yeah, see, this is before he's mended it. It's all just shit and horrible.
Yeah, we got to sand all this out. Yeah, get all this fudge. We had to repair it from behind first to fiberglass.
Oh, you just sort of had to strengthen it.
Fiberglass, yeah. So it's all good because that was just a piece of something stuck on there with a bit of glue.
Brilliant.
And body filler over it. So.
Yeah, you know, like I say, in the same one. This is where the PU was, is it?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you've got to put more fiberglass in there.
There's a piece snapped out there.
Oh, that's what this is there for.
Yeah,
just
there's a big piece snapped out and missing at the back, so no way of attaching it. And then this was just all PU fudge.
Glorious. To be honest, it's like, you know, I do get it. It's like kind of at the end of its life from like a useful, you know, bus point of view. So it's just had lots of little MOT fixes on it. You know, it's probably like an old shit Fiesta or something. You just get it through the MOT, you get another year out of it or whatever, another year. So yeah, you know, again, you know, all these little bits and pieces, it looked absolutely fine originally. You know, it was all right. It was presentable, but we're just trying to get it that one step further and get it as nice as we can possibly make it without chucking £100,000 at it, because that's essentially what it cost me to buy a, you know, like a motorhome camper that will tow what I want and travel with the amount of people that I want to travel with. So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, so by the time I've got my invoice from here for a couple of quid,
more like 50 grand.
So Jeremy's does most of my bits and pieces because I've always got something interesting for him. He does whinge quite a bit, to be fair, but often I'm bringing him up stuff which is really, really exciting. So I can't say I'm surprised. You do get a bit of a grump.
Really rubbish.
Nay, what are you on about? I'm not having that said. That's a top quality Mercedes bus part, that is. Well, I think this bit come from Italy, in fairness. But yeah, it is what it is. I hate your paint shop. Makes my camera go horrible.
Well, if you pay me more money, I can afford a proper one, can't I?
I can't afford to do that. Just get on with the job. Right, see you later. Right, so I'm going to make some over wheel arches, which will be steel and solid and welded to this. I will keep these in place. There's the other one that I've removed from this side, but that is fiberglass, which is great for, you know, just keeping the water out and off of the steelwork. As I say, I believe these were added in at a later point. I don't believe this is how it was originally. So as I say, I'm going to keep those in and they'll go back in, but I want to make something that goes over the top that is solid. Because obviously that's fiberglass and that's piss horrible thin to, I can't put anything on it, to it, attach anything wherever. Can't rest the thing on it because it's obviously a horrible shape too. So it'd be nice just to have something that's a, you know, maybe like a angle, flat angle, just giving us like sort of maybe 10-15mm gap on the top. And then hopefully we'll, you know, it'll keep as much room in the van as I can and add an extra layer of sort of protection, if you like, from the water, and a little bit of, I guess it'll be insulative to some extent, being an air gap. But either way, that's what I want to do, you know, majoritively, so I can put some stuff on the top. You know, I can't balance a toilet on that very well. It'd be very awkward in the middle of the evening. Right, so yeah, just going to do a little drawing and then make something up. Job done. Okay, so I'm just going to use some Zintek. It's a bit too thick really for my poor shear folder, etc. But it's going to do the trick. I'm going to use Zintek because it's got like just a little coating of zinc on it. So I'm just going to make the end plate and then move on from there. So hopefully not too complicated. Right, so dead easy. I'm just going to fold these up now. Well, providing my folder will actually fold all those up, and they will hook over the top of this piece once I folded that, and then this piece will fold in the opposite direction to go down on the box section. So hopefully we'll have a nice solid looking wheel arch. Hopefully. A moment of truth. Will she do it? Oh, yes it will. Happy days. Nice. Oh, it's going to be hard work though. Bless her heart. A quick sanity test fit. And rest assured, if this hadn't have fitted, it wouldn't be on the video. So yeah, like I say, sanity test fit. All seems to go all right. So you can kind of see what I'm saying now. We'll fold another piece to go over the top here, and then we'll make something up nice to go in there, hopefully with some internal folds. But yeah, happy days. And I've still not fell through this fucking thing. Shit. Not too horrible this. So all of those little tabs I'll be able to put over there, weld them in. 2 little folds now to make them flat so they'll line up with the other box section that goes down towards the side of the van. And like I say, just make a little piece there. I'm not unhappy so far. Whee! Okay, so that is the basics of it done. I've like obviously just tacked it in place at the moment. It's not bolted in, welded in yet. I'm going to just finish up the rest of this side, and then I'll tack this in situ, and then I'll weld it fully when it's in place, so that hopefully it will stick together. But yeah, it should give us a nice, you know, I might even put something on the inside actually, just to add a little bit of extra, maybe like a little little folded piece that way to, yeah, I'll see. Yeah, happy. So I've moved all of my bits and pieces inside for the cutting because it's peeing down outside, and it's just, you know, bare metal. It's just getting watered on. So yeah, lovely. So yeah, nice bit of box there cut, so just got to stick that in. Yeah, happy days. Tidy, happy with that. Solid, ready to go, ready to paint. My next port of call is going to be to strengthen this up. So we're going to put a beam across there, and then we're going to smash some diagonals in, or maybe that way, and as how it was. And then once this is strengthened up, I'll then, you know, because I need to get to the back of this in behind here, so I don't want the wheel arch there. Once this is here and done, we'll then smash the wheel arch in, and then we'll move around in this area again. So it'll be pretty cool actually, because in a minute this whole side will be, you know, strengthened and welded, and everything will be solid, with the exception of my little piece at the end there. But I've got the box section to do that now, but I just don't want to do it because it's pissing with rain and that's outside. So yeah, let's cut some bits up, smash them in there. Yeah, I got somewhere nice to stand. Happy with that. This side is, you know, now strength wise absolutely fine. I am going to put a piece of box section from this piece here up to the bottom of there. I might even come up to this corner. Actually, it's probably just going to add that little bit more strength in there, and why not, eh? So yeah, that's done. That's done. One piece of box in there, and then we can move on to something at the back here, I guess, and then maybe we'll paint this up so it's nice and protected. And we can move on round into another piece of van. Yay! Happy days. So, got a nice solid wheel arch in there now. I'm gonna just take the top off of that weld. I've just done, like, you know, as you can see, inch or so welds. Weld, leave a bit, weld, leave a bit, 6 inches, and then go back over it so that you don't warp it. So yeah, just gonna take the top off of that, like just sand it down. Same there, and then just re-prep that. So just a bit of wire wheeling, and then again some more primer. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Sort of feels more and more like a, you know, a finished article. So we're going to move more back here now. Going to put another piece across here, and then we're going to talk about the back end, I think. Okay, so may have noticed at the back here, we got some holes. They are to bolt on these plates, and between here is a nice big, I think it's 90mm piece of pipe in a similar fashion to how the original is. So again, just trying to keep some strength there. So I'm gonna smash this in now. Just try and get this sort of lightly bolted in both ends, and then we'll have a measure up and we'll tack it in, and then I think we'll take it off and weld it, and then we can, you know, get this piece in primer as well, get that nicely done. Something else to stand on getting down in as well, nice set of steps. Oh. Okay, so that's in. Ordered some new bolts because the ones I got are 3mm too bloody short, naturally. I've just been round and red oxided that. Right, now next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear everything out here. I just created this absolute bomb site, so I'm going to clear everything out of here, and I'm going to give it a good old pressure wash underneath. But probably going to do that tomorrow evening now after work, because obviously I've red oxided everything. But yeah, so that's next on the list, and then next weekend continue the build in that direction, I guess. Whee! Yawn. Right, that was a job well done. The old pressure washer in there. So it's probably a bit easier now to see what has been replaced, refurbished. Everything in red is either new or been refurbished, replaced, with the exception of these zigzags and the two main ribs there. Everything else is pretty much new. So yeah, pretty happy. Let's go inside and I'll talk about what I'm going to do at the back here on the PC, because you can see like a visual representation of what I'm actually going to do in here is probably a bit easier, because at the moment it just looks like an empty box. A big empty box though, which I'm really pleased about.
Okay, I haven't really touched on like the setup or how we're going to have this at all, so I just thought I'd show you in SolidWorks. I've been drawing up the van. These are the wheel arches. This is that nice new wheel arch I've just put in, and this is the steel frame that I was just I was stood just here a minute ago. I haven't got the chassis in here because it seemed relatively pointless, being brutally honest, to draw the chassis, but this step bit here is something I've got to change. I'm going to put this at an angle so the door comes in around here, but either way, ultimately the majority of the reasons that we went for a bigger bus is because we were struggling with the sleeping arrangements. Obviously all the kids are getting bigger, far much bigger, so we wanted to have fixed beds. So a lot of our interior is going to be taken up by beds. Appreciate we're going to go for smaller ones than we're going to go for a small double, small singles, but all fixed beds. So 5-berth fixed beds. So I know it probably sounds like a waste of space, but it's going to make what we're doing for us much better. So we're hoping to have a double up here, and a single under here, and the boot space is going to come under here. What I will try and do actually is unsuppress some of that. I've got some of this switched off. Actually, if I just put it all back on, and then hopefully you'll see it all populating now, which is going to be essentially how the bus will be. So these are two doubles, and then this is sorry, two doubles, two singles, 1, 2, and then a single here. There is actually steel work up here, but I'm going to change it to meet what we want better. So that's going to be the basic setup of our bus. This is a driver's seat here, and then 3 forward facing. These will rotate. Small table here. Well, I say small, it's actually pretty big, and this will be a kitchen area, and then in here we're going to have a shower bathroom thing that I've not really decided on yet, but this is all malleable. You know, like I say, we've left it all able to be moved around to an extent, because we really don't know entirely how we're doing this setup. But the rear, I'm going to make this in steel, so this will be an upright here, and then under comes our boot. The boot lid opens essentially here, but I'm going to make this bed frame out of steel work and attach it into the side, so that we've got like a floating bed frame, and this will be just 40mm along here, 40mm box, and it go across, like I say, so it'll be floating. We won't use it much area, and it'll be solid. So yeah, I appreciate it's probably not the setup for everyone, but it's just going to be perfect for us. It's what, over the last 5 years that we've been using this Iveco, the things that we struggle with are having our own little bit of space. We're planning on having, so you know, each one of these little bedrooms will have a little set of curtains, so they can just go up in there and chill out of the way. I might be able to go in there and chill out of the way. And then yeah, this is like the living area here, and we're hoping to have a big awning along the side. So yeah, that's essentially what the interior is going to look like as it stands. Like I say, I know it's not got fancy wood everywhere and a wood burner and all of that stuff, but I'll be brutally honest, it just won't suit us. So yeah, that's a 5-minute chat about what we're planning on doing. Again, it's malleable. We're likely to change these bits and pieces as we go along, but that's what we're hoping to achieve, give or take. So it'll be really interesting to look back on this episode when I finish episode 442, when we finished said bus. Yeah, so that's what we want to do, and I'm looking forward to getting involved with the inside of it, frankly. All this steel work is, well, it's getting on my tits, being frank, but there it is. Again, I won't dribble on, because I could easily dribble on all day. So thanks ever so much for joining us for this episode, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, if you're not bored to tears or bored to death. I suspect it's going to be another 2 or 3 episodes, being honest, before we start to do anything like this, anything interesting. We've got water tanks will be one of the next jobs. I've got to fabricate or order some custom water tanks, but I'll talk about that next episode. Until next time, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you watching me do all this boring crap, and I hope it's inspiring you to do something, you know, to get out and do some van building yourself. But until next time, have a wonderful day, drive carefully.